What's up, family? If you're tuning in and you can hear my voice, drop an emoji. Let me know you're here. Let me know the audio's good. Drop a comment in the chat if you can hear me and you're listening, you're alive and breathing. Let me know where you are in the world. Out here in Uluwatu and Bali, feeling very blessed by the sun. I wanted to jump on and just have a discussion really, and also take questions from y'all around this idea that, especially in the conscious community or the spiritual community, whatever you want to call it, people that are into health and yoga and plant medicine and coaching and business, a lot of people are very confused around dating, aka masculine and feminine energy. And I want to just address some of the comments I've been getting and also some of the questions, because some people are just completely confused and think that basically all traditional values around men and women, masculine and feminine energy and roles, and to some extent all the kind of new wave that is, it's not new, it's been building for a while in the West, but this idea that we can just deconstruct language and we can make it whatever we want it to be, which is true. On a fundamental metaphysical level, that is true. Like, language is just a sign or signifier. We can change it to be whatever we want. But, trying to redefine the word woman, or creating words like birthing person, or creating things like father's milk, and the radicalized, I think it's a straight up like psychological operation propaganda of taking people out of their instincts and taking people out of their body into this mental construct world. And that's the extreme side, right? This is what's being pushed in the news by these people that are just completely fucking out of their minds, in my opinion. But it's actually affecting normal people too. And I know this because a lot of my clients, people I'm working with, a lot of the people that I speak with either are leaving relationships right now or trying to enter relationships, and they're not being successful because a lot of the women are in dominant masculine energy, guarding their heart, getting stuck, attracting feminine men. And a lot of the men, for whatever reason, have been stuck in their feminine energy and are attracting these masculine women. And they're wondering why their finances, their purpose, their body, and their sexuality, their dating life, is not reflecting what they want it to be and what they feel it should be, right? Because they've done everything right. Maybe they have the job, maybe they've done the dating and courtship the right way, or they've done it in the way that society's told them through movies and films and Hollywood, through, this idea that somewhere out there is a perfect woman and you'll just be able to meet her and have this life together. And once you meet her, everything will just click into place and you'll get married, have kids, and live happily ever after, And this is kind of a cliche, but this is still literally operating in the subconscious of a lot of people, and they don't realize that many folks are living in what I call the polarity reversal. You can call it the polarity inversion of women being forced by society, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no blame here. Like, no one's to blame. We don't need to shame anyone, but we're just looking objectively at what's happening. And I have the privileged role of getting to, get hundreds, thousands of comments, emails over the years and see dozens of clients on this issue. And it comes up in so many different forms. So I get the privilege of seeing this from my perspective. And I'm curious what your perspective is. If you have a strong take on this, or you have an experience of this, I'd love to hear it in the comments. The women are operating in their masculine because they're guarded, they're trapped, they've been hurt, it's a trauma response. They're going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. It's actually one of the ones that you don't hear that often, fight, flight, or freeze, but fawn is basically to be a people pleaser and try to, protect or, not stir the pot, to appease. And the feminine has to do this to guard themselves, to guard their heart, to protect themselves from getting hurt again, because they probably were hurt in another situation by a past partner, by a father, by a masculine figure in their life. So again, there's no blame. Now the thing is, for the men, many of them are also in their masculine at work and at war and in the dojo of the corporate life, or the hierarchy that they're in, right? Every man has to find his place in a hierarchy. Usually it's work or career. But in terms of their life, their purpose, their self-knowledge, their perspectives, their dating, their sexuality, many of them go into their feminine and become indecisive and become kind of confused, or, drifting or aimless. And I know this because I've done it. I know it very well. The man then enters his feminine, and he'll attract one of these masculine partners, because basically the roles are being reversed. And this is physics on one level, so the opposites will attract, and those reversed energies will find each other. And this is quite common. Now, why? And first off, have you experienced this? If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, because this is like the real pandemic, actually. Is the world needs fucking strong men and women in love, creating families and tribes that can weather what's coming on the planet, which is a complete foundational shift in civilization. And it's already started. We're already deep into it. And anyone who thinks that, at some point the nice people on the television will just say, hey, don't worry, everything's under control, we got everything figured out. It's like, no, like the chaos is increasing right now, and it's going to continue to. And in that process, a lot of people are going to have to come correct. They're going to have to come back to truth, and sometimes a painful truth, inside their relationships, inside their intimacy. This is huge. Because this is the most core energy of your life, You can be the best athlete, you can be the best artist, you can be the best stock trader, you can be the best coach on planet, make millions of dollars. But if you can't express your true self and sexual intimacy and emotional safety and love with another person, and feel fulfilled by that and feel like charged up by it, you don't have anything. And that's the core desire that I think everyone needs. And we need to actually approach this, from a systems perspective. We need to approach this as a problem solver and get this figured out. We need to actually apply ourselves to solving this problem. And this is something I've been doing for a long time, because this is the problem I had to solve. I've experienced everything I just described. And this is why I'm now coming forward with this work and stepping into it more. That's why Primal Polarity is kind of the culmination and the starting point of teaching this and holding a container for singles and couples to go through this. So if you haven't seen me post about that in my stories or whatever, first people already signed up. I'm fucking stoked. I have a call today actually with someone who's going to sign up. And yeah, if you want more info, shoot me a DM right now, or check the top link in my bio here on Instagram. This is where we need to go next, is tactically, strategically understanding masculine, feminine energy. As a man, most men out there, this works for non-binary folks too. This works for same sex, because these are just the types of energy in nature that are symbiotic. If you have two masculine energies, those are great to hunt together. Those are great to compete. Those are great as business partners, as colleagues, as friends. Not going to be a sexual, intimate compatibility, right? Two feminine energies, same thing. Not going to be a core sexual compatibility. And sometimes someone's thinking, right, like, well, what about gay couples, and what about men on men and women on women? If you observe them, if you are really honest with yourself, one will be in a different pole. Think about it as yin and yang. If you get caught up in masculine and feminine, and you can't separate that from men and women, it's yin and yang energy. Someone's leading, someone's surrendering, someone's signaling and being super present in the space and filling it with energy. Someone's holding the space and guiding it and is more connected to their consciousness and mind. And these are just observable facts. Not fact check, Facebook, fuck facts with Fuckerberg. Not, Wikipedia articles and all the bullshit. These are primal lived facts and objective reality that you can experience yourself. And I would invite you to experience this. if you haven't experienced this and you haven't thought about it and gotten curious, like, why does my partner say this? Or why when I'm dating him does he ghost me? Or why when we go out to dinner do I feel this way? And when he doesn't take me to bed in this way, I feel, there's reasons for all of it. And you can study it. There's an art and a science to it. And this is what, I'm really excited to share with more people. And Primal Polarity is an 8-week container. If you want to be part of a group, it's going to go through this stuff together like a dojo. I also do one-on-one VIP mentorships for this. And I've supported a lot of, professional, high-powered couples and singles to come into some radical honesty and practice around this stuff. Because, if you want to thrive, you're going to have to just own what your dominant pole is. If you're a man and you want to be in your masculine and strength and be, successful in business, successful financially, be sexually and emotionally available to contain and lead a woman, you gotta actually practice that in our world, because it's not automatic. The culture and society will completely bullshit you with what's available, right? And what's normal, because we've normalized trauma. We've normalized this reversal. So people don't bat an eye and think it's normal for a strong, independent woman or a single mom to be in her masculine all the time, be stressed out and not fulfilled emotionally and fulfilled sexually and not feel safe, not feel surrendered in her heart, not feel healed in her body and open and orgasmic and enjoy. We've normalized the other thing, which is just fucking insanity. And for a lot of folks who normalize men that are just yes men, they're followers, they don't think for themselves, they're not connected to deep purpose, they're just workers, right? They're workers in an organization, or they're soldiers. These aren't strong, healthy patriarchs. These aren't warriors and kings that are going to lead their woman and their family and their children and tribe to deep purpose and union with God. We need men that are actually on that level to help guide humanity back to what we've forgotten. And this is one of the core pieces. This is the piece I'm holding, that I'm noticing. This is a big conversation that we need to understand. And appreciate all y'all here. Tend the hearth. I'm not going to save this conversation. I'm actually going to delete it. But if you love this, you should join our group. We have a dojo, a free group called Polarity Dojo that is on Facebook. Again, go to the link in my bio. You can check that out. There's also a lot of this in my Telegram channel. What the world's missing right now is basically men who are deeply in their masculine and self-led to say, this is bullshit. If you're wondering why things are so fucked up, and it's like, what's going on? It's like, well, because there aren't men saying, no, enough, this is bullshit, and protecting and provisioning the women and children. And the women, in the same way, but in a different way from the feminine, need to be like, fuck you, this is bullshit. Set a boundary, come into their oracle connection with God and Goddess, and come into connection with nature and unleash their primal power as women, as the feminine, which is magic. It's literally magic. This is why people were burning witches and afraid of priestesses and warlocks and wizards and mages and druids. It's because they're actually connected to real power in nature, and they're connected to unseen forces, which we all have the ability to access, which is God present all around us. It's nature, it's the plants, it's the animals. It's your own inner being and the inner energy that you already possess. And the masculine and feminine together, when they're both in this, are super powerful. And that's why I believe, a lot of people don't want this to happen, right? Because if you can break apart the masculine and feminine connection, you can control everybody. And you can just get everybody to work. Not a big deal. You can make your money, you can go to war, you can exploit people. And a lot of the world has been operated this way for a very long time, unfortunately. And I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys know this. But it is what it is until it's not, until we decide to do something different. And that's why sexuality, dating, intimacy, polarity work, relationships, and how we navigate them is so simple, but it's not easy. It takes practice. It takes perspective. That's why I'm really excited to lead the people that are going to be in this program through this, because it's going to be an 8-week deep dive into this. We're going to have accountability support, that laser coaching, and the group to go through this work together and actually get your house in order. Whether you're single and you're out there dating and you're looking for a partner, or you're already in a long-term relationship or married, this is big work. So I'm really excited to invite those people in, and applications and enrollment is open. I would love to see some of y'all in there. If you have questions, type them in, because I'll stay on here for a little longer. Let me know if you have any questions. A lot of people in here. I'm grateful for everyone who's passing through. What do you think about this? Like, are you experiencing this? Paulita said, yes, I do have a lot of masculine energy. I'm working on it. It really is the new pandemic. Yeah. And this is kind of the coming to truth moment, and the uncomfortable truth is just, becoming aware of this first. Like, can you actually become aware that this could be true for you? And then not beat yourself up about it, right? Not get super upset at yourself or try to change it, or, try to change it by shame or blame, but just getting real and getting curious. Like, why? Why is this the case? And you'll find that the answer is conditioning, and it's also to protect yourself, right? It's to protect and create that space for yourself. So, I see this a lot more with women who are discovering that they've been in their masculine energy too much, which is fine if you're creating, or you're structuring, you're a leader, you're in business. It's great, but you need to learn how to switch. You have to learn how to transition, because if you bring that energy on a first date, well, you're going to be with the feminine man, and that's just physics. So Saber Buffy says, what if you're a strong entrepreneur and want to be with an entrepreneur too? Is that not freaking possible in a relationship because it's both masculine? My dream is to have that and make epic love. Yeah. I mean, I'm living that right now. I know a lot of people that are. And it takes a deep understanding of these dynamics, because obviously when you're both working, especially your entrepreneurs, you need a lot of masculine energy. You need a lot of structure. You need a lot of, the ability to contain and set boundaries and be decisive and just boom. And you're going to both be in that. But when you're together, you need to be able to switch. And you need to have practice and rituals to do that. You need to get curious around what your needs and wants are, because you're going to have to navigate that. And, once you just get clear with that and find the ritual or practice that works for you, it's quite natural. It's very natural. And then you just got to get really real with yourself around how you want to run your business. This is the other side. To be a strong entrepreneur, you have to be in your masculine as a woman. I mean, some things, yes, there's going to be some things like that always. But, I've supported and I've experienced many women as entrepreneurs who are predominantly in their feminine. And there's a different way to do business, and it doesn't have to look like the hustle and the grind and, some of these things that we associate with being a strong entrepreneur or business person. Because again, this is all based on conditioning, it's based on burnout culture, it's based on self-sacrifice, and a lot of that is bullshit. But the hardest part is unlearning it and practicing the new, for sure. I think that's why my relationship of 5 years couldn't last. We both couldn't really make the ritual piece a priority enough. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said there, because it is not easy at first. So I would definitely recommend finding people that are already doing it and getting in proximity, whether you do mentorship with them or you're, doing the courses, or really being in that space and energy and understanding how they navigate it. Because being an entrepreneur, it's tough. You have a lot to hold, a lot to carry, and you have to be very intentional about this, especially in relationships. That's why entrepreneurs tend to date each other, because it's a totally different lifestyle. Yeah, thanks for that. Sarah Ritchie, learning how to reprogram emasculation and finding the more I disconnect from my family's dynamic, the more it's easier for me. I want to break the generational trauma and step into sacred union. There it is. It's huge. So huge. This is what we have to do, is because a lot of us, our mothers were emasculating our fathers, consciously or unconsciously, and undermining them in a lot of ways. And that's why they cheat or disconnect or fight or get divorced. And when the feminine feels unsafe unconsciously, she will test the masculine and often can cut his balls off or castrate him energetically by overly testing him or testing him with resentment and anger. And this is a huge piece, huge code that we were talking about in our group, the Polarity Dojo, which is a free group. Again, if you want to join that, links in the bio. You know, this is a huge one for men and women, because women are realizing that they've done this, which is fine. It's just becoming aware of it. And then men are realizing that this has happened to them and realize relationships failed because of this. They didn't feel respected. Masculine's core heart needs to feel acknowledged and respected, especially when he's in his power of solving problems. And as the feminine, one of the most harmful things you can do is to attack that or cut that down. And obviously a strong man, you know, he may not take it personally, but if you do it again and again and again and again and again, it's going to affect the dynamic, and it's sure as hell not going to make the intimacy better and the connection better. And a lot of women, you know, are just like, well, he should just deal with it and he should just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, how's that working out for you? I don't see a lot of those women in deep, intimate containers. I'm unlearning so much of the hustle. It's so many layers. Yeah, it's huge. It is huge. Eric in the house. I see Eisenman on here too. Johanna Pat, can you please tell us how to connect our heart and feminine being an alpha masculine? Yeah, I mean, this is where you have to find your, again, practice or space to be in that. So it's going to come through your body. It's going to come through, you know, not being in single focus. You need to take your focus into the void, into meditation, into feeling, into expression. It can be art, it can be music, it can be plant medicine, it can be nature. It can be with a woman that's not your partner that can help open your feminine, you know? For some men, they need a mirror to do it at first. And it's through your body, it's through your sensations and emotions. You have to actually learn to identify them and relate to them, right? So as a masculine, it might just be that it's happening, but you don't even know it's happening. So you need to learn how to recognize it first. Yeah, I find that, you know, nature for a lot of men is a really good place to access this. Another place is, you know, a men's group. If you haven't done men's work or been in a men's circle or been with, you know, other men practicing this, you know, it's a step in the process. A lot of men, ultimately, we want to hone our masculine together because we want to train and practice with each other because we grow through that challenge. But at first, with other men, it can be a powerful place to open up feminine energy and share and actually be vulnerable. Because often we hide that vulnerability from women because we want to be sexually competitive, right? And that's one of the hard parts about that. And again, the idea of alpha masculine is probably not what a lot of people think. You know, the alpha is the one creating the most value or creating the most frame or container. And they may not be loud and machismo. And this is one of those inversions too in culture, is that people think the alpha is the most, you know, powerful whatever. And just dominant without any connection or attunement. And that's just not the case. That's actually a beta behavior. This is the mindfuck. If you the alpha doesn't need to show you his strength. It's just evident. You can feel it. The beta will overly compensate and attack and blame and use all that energy. So that's the crazy part. And you can see this with animals too. Johanna Pack, I'm an alpha female operating on masculine. I mean, the same stuff I just said applies. It's just going to be with other women. So it's going to be the women's circle. It's going to be, you know, you have to connect to your sexual energy. You have to connect to pleasure. You're going to have to connect to dance, music, song, some kind of ritual to drop you out of your mind, basically. Because if you're guarding yourself and you're in that masculine energy, at some point you're going to have to come out of that in that mental space, right? A lot of it's that mental protectionism. It's protecting yourself with strategy, with thoughts, and with busyness. And your body already knows what to do, so you just need to, again, find a way, find support to come out of that space. And this is why the ritual and practice becomes important, because it has to be repeated, right? It's repeatable and it's consistent. And that's a huge part of this. It's a huge part. You know, this is a lot of what we're going to be covering in Primal Polarity. So again, the 8-week container that we're launching is full of this. It was all about practicing this dynamic with a dojo, with a group. So we got singles, couples, men and women who want to, you know, achieve this and actually understand the dynamics, because the theory is important, but more importantly, it's the practice and accountability that's going to do that. So if that's for you, and you know, you're going to get this at the best price, because this is basically what I've been building towards for 7 years, and just haven't had a forward-facing program, even though I've mentored people one-on-one for years in this. I've also mentored couples. This is big. And I'm being supported by 2 amazing support coaches, Scott Little and Zach Gallardo, who both have years in the space, you know, in person and online, supporting this work. So if that's for you, you know, send me a DM right here, or just go to the top link in my bio. You can check out the landing page of everything you get in that, what it's going to cover. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm just going to be going intermittently live. I'm not going to save this one. If you want more of this and more stuff like this, you know, join the free group or join my Telegram to start. If you just want to dabble, if you want to go deep, you know, reach out to me and we'll get you set up. Appreciate y'all. Have a fucking amazing day. See a lot of amazing people joining now. It's always how it works. When you want to leave, everybody joins. But yeah, c'est la vie, y'all.